We're back.
We back.
Like, subscribe, comment the entire B movie script in the comments section. All that stuff because we're about to put on a banger tonight. And let's just start. All right. Adam Cole comes out with JD and the rest of the Undisputed Era. CM Punk comes out with Heyman at his side. Cole starts off by saying, "Heyman, it's good to see you again. After all, you did help us win that War Games, and I'm eternally grateful. But now you stand on the opposite side of me, and I'm telling you both right now that this won't end well for you two. See, my family here has my back, and you, Punk, you seem to have no one. So what makes you think that you stand a chance against me?" Fantastic question, Cole, with an easy answer. I'm the best in the world. If I was if I wasn't, Heyman wouldn't be at my side. And it's a shame that I had to waste my favor on just getting this match. I wanted to use it to make sure this was one on one, but we don't always get what we want, do we? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why I'm walking out of Bash as champion. Because I have to. This is it. This is how I main event WrestleMania. I need this more than I need air in my lungs, more than I need blood pumping through my heart, and a whole hell of a lot more than I need to sleep. At Bash, you are facing a man with nothing to lose and everything to gain, so I ask you, what makes you think you can outwork me? That's great, Punk. One small correction. You were the best in the world over 14 years ago. This isn't 2011 anymore, Gramps. This is 2025, and I hold this title because I earned it by beating the best. I beat Gunther, the man who made John Cena tap out, by myself, with no help. You think I need these guys by my side? I don't. Matter of fact, at Bash, they won't be there. Just me and you. And I'll prove to you who the best in the world truly is. Cole drops the mic and walks away. Then we get Bianca versus Jada. And their last fight, we get to the 23-minute mark. Both women are tired. They can barely stand anymore. They've given it their all. Bianca goes for a KOD. Jada lands on her feet. She kicks Bianca in the knee. Bianca falls to her knees. Jada runs to hit a hypnotic. Bianca gets out of the way. Bianca lifts Jada up one more time, and she hits a KOD this time. She tries to go for the cover, but Jada rolls out the ring. Bianca goes to the outside to bring her in, but is thrown into the ring post headfirst. Jada then throws her across the barricade near the timekeeper's area. Bianca starts to get up. Jada rushes and hits a hypnotic through the barricade. The crowd chants, "Holy shit." The ref goes to check on them as they both aren't moving. Jada finally starts moving. She gets into the ring. The ref continues his count. He gets to the count of 8, and Bianca still hasn't moved. Jada just starts shaking her head. Not like this. She breaks the count. She goes to the outside, starts picking up Bianca. She drags her to the commentary table. She starts gloating a little bit, and this gives Bianca enough time to lift her up for a KOD, and she hits a KOD through the announce table. The crowd once again are chanting, "Holy shit." The ref is counting. Both women are down, and they just stay down as the ref counts to 10. It's a double count out. Afterwards, both women are stretched out as it ends in a double count out.
There is no fucking way. Also, I am tragically here to inform you. There's like a 2 second moment while you're explaining that your mic just cut off.
Damn.
It was like something 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 KOD. It's like a 2 second before you say KOD. That I don't know what it may be in your video, but I didn't hear it.
KOD through the announce table?
Yeah, it
Alright,
was like a
yeah, that's
little
what
bit
happened.
before that. Okay,
Whatever, it's fine.
but
We
ain't no
get the
fucking
gist.
way.
What will happen? Who knows? Backstage, JD is walking around when Shin runs up to him with his phone and says, "Look!" And it just shows a bunch of pictures of Finn with Shin and JD. They're at soccer games on the road, and Finn just hugging Mello and JD after they won the tag titles. JD just starts panicking and he runs away, covering his eyes and ears, yelling, "Get away from me!" Shin doesn't run after him, but he watches him run away and he says, "Damn it." Then we get Santos versus Andrade. Santos wins. Then Imperium come out. They have a face off with Redragon. Gunther says, "You people have done nothing but ruin any momentum I have had this year. But now I take it all back. We have home court advantage at Bash in Berlin. Kaiser here is a very talented wrestler who almost won the world championship. And he just happens to be from Germany. And I'm not that far from it. So on Saturday, you will be entering into a space unlike you have ever seen before. You will be shaken to your core when the building shakes so hard that you think you're experiencing an earthquake. But it's not an earthquake, it's destiny calling to me to take those titles off of you. So destiny's calling to you. Is it not also calling Kaiser? After all, he was the one who was this close to capturing the world title. I don't know, Kyle. What do you think about that? No, you're right, Bobby. He was speaking with a lot of me and I. I don't think these guys are on the same page. I think this man is going to try to do this all by himself, and that he doesn't even really trust Kaiser. That's not true. Kaiser is a valuable and respected member of the team. All right, if you say so. But you two got to figure this out. Because on Saturday, you're facing the best tag team in the world. There isn't anyone on our level. So there isn't any room for miscommunication. So if I were you two, I'd do a lot of team bonding exercises like now. Redrag and leave. And Gunther has some concern written on his face. Okay? Then we get to number one contenders for the women's tag team championships. Bailey hits a Bailey to belly on Zelina. She goes for the cover. Brie breaks it up, and throws Bailey out of the ring. She locks in her submission on Zelina. She's about to tap when Bailey breaks it up. They start fighting. Lash Legend comes in and wipes them both out. She hits her finish on Zelina. Cover. 1, 2, 3. The Meta Girls are going to bash. All right. Then we get a small Santos promo package just saying he's tired of the Undisputed Era and this will be his chance to end them once and for all. And he's going to bring everything he can to Haradi. All right. They get Theory versus LA Knight. Theory wins. Get your wins up, Theory. All right. After that, we get a contract signing between Lita and Rox. Trish is there mediating everything. Rox is happy to be facing Lita at Bash. Lita is just happy to be back and make her return in a huge match. She says that it's been insane to watch Rox grow into the performer she's become over the past year. And she says that when Trish and Rox were beefing, that Trish would call her and shit talk Rox, but always ended the conversations with how good Rox is. And she's now excited to come and see firsthand what Rox has to offer. Rox says that Lita is an inspiration, and the rivalry with Trish did change her. If this was the Rox of old, she'd probably be downplaying Lita's accomplishments, but she realizes that she should embrace the past and still be thankful that she's part of the future. They both signed the contract. Trish says she doesn't know who she'll be cheering for on Saturday, but she knows she'll have fun watching them go to work. Backstage, Theory is getting looked at after the match by the doctors when Obo walks in and says, I see that you realize where your place on the card is. Good. Yeah, good on you beating for beating a ground dweller like LA Knight. Lord knows you can't beat anyone on my level. You know what, Oba? Sick of this. I beat CM Punk. I beat Gunther, and I can beat you. You're an asshole, and you have a lot of power, but you're beatable. I know it. If you're so tough, face me one more time. Oba smiles and says, You're on. See you next week. Alright. Main event time. No DQ match. The bell rings. Right away, Becky goes for some weapons on the outside. Then they just beat the shit out of each other. And in the final moments of the match, we see Becky hit Julia in the face with a chair shot. Uh, then, just like last time, she hits a manhandle slam onto the chair. Cover, one, two, kick out. She can't believe it. She starts arguing with the ref that she counted too slow. The ref says no and to lock in. Becky turns around and Julia's getting up. She goes for the manhandle slam one more time onto the chair. Julia gets out the way. She strikes Becky and picks her up and hits a Northern Lights bomb onto the chair. Julia isn't finished. She picks up Becky and hits an Arrivederci knee. Cover, one, two, three. Julia wins. Law.
Welcome back. This is SmackDown December Week 3. This is the go home show for the Bash in Berlin PLE.
Oh shit!
Um,
It is. Fuck.
it is like, subscribe, comment down below. We asked for the B movie on Raw. Give us Braveheart, the entire script of it, in the comment section down
Braveheart.
below. The
Uh,
entire script.
hell no. Give me the entire script of The Godfather.
All, what, 3 parts there is to The Godfather?
Yeah,
I,
all three movies.
I need 3 different people to comment down each part. So somebody needs to comment the first one, someone needs to comment the second one, someone needs to comment the third one. Find it within yourselves to organize that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get on to the show tonight. Swerve Strickland comes down to the ring to open the show and calls out Kevin Owens. Swerve says, Kevin, for the past 2 weeks you have somehow put me into harm's way and I'm done with being the victim of your actions. Bring your ass down to this ring right now and receive the beating you so rightfully deserve. Kevin Owens makes his way down to the ring. Seems like he has a bit of urgency for the ref to ring the bell. We have Swerve versus Kevin Owens. Towards the end of the match, we see Swerve setting up a house call when Braun Breaker rushes down to the ring. Um, he slides in, and as he is getting up, Swerve nails Braun with the house call instead. Swerve is yelling down at Braun as he kicks him out of the ring. He then turns around and gets nailed with a stunner by Kevin, and Kevin pins him for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, we go to commercial. When we come back, we see Jade come down to the ring for a contract signing with Charlotte. Charlotte brings all of Chemical X with her. They go over the rules and stipulations of the matchup. Jade makes sure Charlotte understands that no member of Chemical X is allowed at ringside. Charlotte says she understands the rules and signs the contract. Jade gives one last taunt before going to sign, and that's when Charlotte cheap shots her. They brawl for a bit, but Jade ends up winning the exchange and valiantly signs the contract. We then see Sami Zayn and Trick Williams walk into Big E's office backstage, and Sami has a huge grin across his face. Big E says, Well, it's been a couple of weeks, Sami, and it appears you have an idea. Sami says, Yes, I've got a great idea. Later tonight, get Solo, Bronson, and Jacob into that ring, and Trick and I will meet them there. Big E says, So do you just want them in the ring, or are you wanting a match? Sami says, A match. Big E thinks for a second and says, So it took you 2 weeks to decide you wanted a handicap match. Sami says, Oh, it's not going to be a handicap match. Biggie says, "Oh, who's not in the match then?" Sammy says, "It's not about who's not in the match. It's about who's going to be added to the match." At this point, Omos walks into the room. Sammy says, "This is my big plan." Biggie says, "Well, I'll pencil in the match and get somebody to notify Bloodline Wolfpack." And then Sammy, Trick, and Omos leave the room. We head down to the ring for the finals for the tag title tournament between Phenomenal Egos and Lucha Bros. They put on These two teams put on an absolute classic over the course of a 15-minute match. Lucha Bros probably put up more of a fight than Phenomenal Egos are expecting. Towards the end of the match, the Phenomenal Egos have to resort to cheating to help them pick up the win and earn that title shot against the Gorillas of Destiny at Bash in Berlin. Phenomenal Egos then walk backstage celebrating winning the title shot at Bash in Berlin when Solo Sikoa meets them and just slowly claps. Solo says, "Congrats on earning the ass beating of a lifetime." You see, if you try that same BS at the PLE, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening. AJ and Paige just laugh and say those tag titles are basically already ours. So how about you polish those titles for us, and we'll take them at grace. They continue to walk and come across Cody Rhodes. Cody says, "Well, congrats, champ. You have officially double booked yourself on yet another PLE." I think we all remember what happened last time you had two title opportunities. AJ says, "Yeah, I walked out with a new title. Now please move out of my way, peasant, as we need to speak with Big E." They walk down the hallway further and enter Big E's office. AJ says, "Big E, just the man I was waiting to see. You see, at Survivor Series, I had the misfortune of having my tag match so quickly after winning the World Heavyweight Championship. So at Bash in Berlin, I was hoping you can pull some strings and make sure I have adequate time between my matches." Biggie says he understands, but the card is already getting quite full. AJ says, "Biggie, as your king and champion, I demand you adhere to my demands." Biggie laughs and says, "You know what? I fully respect what you have done for SmackDown. I'll see what I can do. Is there a match you prefer to go on first?" AJ says, "Yeah. If I can recapture our tag titles first, then that would be exemplary." Biggie says, "Okay," and Phenomenal Egos leave the room. We then head down to the ring for this matchup between Bloodline Wolfpack, Solo, Bronson, and Jacob Fatu versus Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, and Omos. Sami, Trick, and Omos pick up the win. Omos proves to be quite the obstacle to overcome. We then cut backstage. AJ Lee and Cora Jade discuss AJ's match at the PLE. AJ says she can't lie. She's a bit nervous. This is her first singles match in quite a bit of time, and it's for a major title. Cora says, "AJ, you are a legend in this business. You have defeated the very best whenever you're in the ring, and at Bash in Berlin, it will be no different." AJ thanks Cora when Team Bad then walks into frame. Mercedes says, "You know what? It has been quite a bit of time since you've had a singles match, AJ. So how about tonight you get yourself a little bit of a warm up?" AJ says, "Is this some sort of mind trick to make sure I'm not 100% for our match?" Mercedes says, "Of course not. You said it yourself. You haven't had a singles match in a very long time. So this would be your chance to wipe some of that rust off those Chuck Taylors of yours and get it back into the ring." AJ just smiles and says, "Well, who did you have in mind?" Mercedes says, "Tamina, of course." AJ just laughs and says, "Yeah, of course. Well, you know what? I'm always ready for a fight, so I'll meet you in the ring." We then cut over and see Swerve Strickland enter Big E's office and says he is tired of being involved in this Braun Breaker and Kevin Owens business and wants to put an end to it. Big E says, "Well, what do you have in mind?" Swerve says next week he wants both of them in the ring for a triple threat. Then afterwards he can rid himself of both of them and move on with his life. Big E says he will make the match. We head down to the ring. AJ Lee taking on Tamina. Despite some outside interference, Cora Jade is able to help even the odds, and AJ Lee is able to lock Tamina into the Black Widow and pick up the win. AJ walking into Bash with some positive momentum, Tamina maybe walking in with some negative momentum for her tactile match. Karrion Kross and Final Testament are walking with a purpose and kicking in doors looking for American Made. Cross says, "Come on, Gable, show yourself. You can't act like a jackass one week, then hide like a coward the next." You then hear a shoosh from the distance. A smile comes across Cross's face, and he heads towards the sound. He comes to a door where you can hear the shoosh coming from, and they kick the door open to see a tape recorder sitting in the middle of the room. Cross just smashes the tape recorder to absolute smithereens and just brews in his anger in the room. Dakota and Io then are seen speaking before Io's matchup with Asuka, and Io says she can't wait to get some payback on Asuka, and asks if Dakota is going to have her back tonight. Dakota says, "When have I ever not had your back?" Io just smiles and says thanks, and they head down to the ring. We then have Io Sky versus Asuka in the main event. Dakota and Kyrie are at ringside for this match. Um, Towards the end of the match, we see Io go up top and hit Asuka with the over the moonsault and goes to cover Asuka. One, two. Dakota places Asuka's foot on the ropes, breaking up the pin. Kyrie seems shocked at what just happened on one side of the ring. Um, and Io then sees what happened and gets up and starts arguing with Dakota, asking if she just did that. Io even heads out of the ring and gets face to face with Dakota, arguing with her. Io then re-enters the ring where Kyrie has the referee distracted and Asuka hits Io with the mist yet again. Io tries to wipe her eyes and turns around. This allows Asuka to lock in the Asuka lock and drops down to the middle of the ring, grapevines her, and Io eventually taps out. And Asuka and Kyrie celebrate, whilst Dakota is left on the outside, looking very similarly to when she cost Asuka the title shot all those months ago. Asuka picks up the win.